Hey guys, this is Irie StarCraft, and I'm back to cast another 2v2 match for you. This game will be on Tarsonis Assault, and it will be between Hien, the red Terran, and his partner will be Dream, the blue Zerg. Their opponents will be RuSH, the purple Zerg, and he apparently is not named after the band RuSH, it turns out, because he apparently thinks they suck. And his partner will be ProTech, the teal Protoss. So, obviously this game is a little bit older. It's got to be a couple months old because ProTech's name does not have his new clan in front of it, which is the Hack clan that he formed. And a bunch of the top team players have been converting to the Hack clan and hanging out in the channel. So, anyway, so I'm looking forward to this game. It should be pretty good. Hien and Dream, not that highly ranked as a 2v2 team. They are a pretty high diamond team, and their winning percentage is in the 70s. It's like 73%. But again, they just haven't played enough games to really get an accurate reading on where they would fall on the ladders. And meanwhile, ProTech has like 4 different 2v2 teams in the top 50 right now in the top 2v2 Master League, so he is pretty ridiculous. And we've seen a bunch of games from RuSH, and he is definitely an exceptional Zerg player. So looking forward to this. It looks like he did get his spawning pool at 10. I'm just assuming, and he does have 6 Zerglings on the way, and the same is true for Dream, who is the Zerg players both have pretty much identical timing on their spawning pools and Zerglings, and it looks like they will have pretty much identical timing on their Zergling speed as well as soon as they get that gas. And both Zerg players continuing to produce more and more Zerglings, something that I think one of my mistakes on as RuSH quickly finds out that Hien was trying to do a sort of a pseudo proxy bunker up here, and that is not going to work against a ProTech and RuSH team because they are going to send out some early pressure. So that bunker had to be cancelled, and there are Zerglings on the way from RuSH, which will be met from Dream, and he looks like he will be ready to deal with that. So shouldn't be too much of a concern. It looks like RuSH is just going to start playing a little bit of cat and mouse and keeping them in their base. And meanwhile, Hien is producing 3. He's got a 3rd barracks on the way. So it looks like we are going to be seeing some mass Marines out of Hien. So far that's what it looks like. And meanwhile, ProTech, is he going to be getting a 4-gate? He does have some minerals starting to be saved up. He has 1 stalker on the way right now. So we'll see. Usually what he'll like to do is let the Zerg player put the pressure on, contain the other team until he can get his 4-gate going. And a little bit of a misclick or run of the stalker, but he is going to be able to take out this SCV, as I think the SCV is actually slightly slower than a stalker, but see 2.81 for the SCV, stalker 2.95, but ProTech sort of got lost in that chase down there. And Zerglings from Dream just checking to make sure there are no proxy pylons, but ProTech will be throwing his proxy pylon down at the Xel'Naga watchtower position, which is a good spot, except for that Dream is going to scout this. So now he is going to try and move out. Hien has left the game. Apparently the red Terran player completely disconnected there, so I did not see that coming at all. And Dream now has a crap load of minerals because his teammate disconnected, so it is sort of a 1-on-2 now, but there are a lot of Zerglings and Marines on the way. So did not see that coming. The red player Hien has disconnected, so Dream is trying to play both players now. And so what is he going to do? I guess he's just going to continue to pump Marines and Zerglings, and we'll see what he can do about it, as RuSH now is forced to fall back with these Zerglings, sort of waiting for ProTech's 4-gate to kick in here. And now he does have 5 stalkers. And he is going to be warping in some zealots, and are we going to see some sentries possibly? I'm not sure. To start trapping these units. No, just more zealots. So zealots and stalkers from ProTech, and here comes the major battle here. Dream has a ton of Zerglings, going to continue to chase down RuSH's Zerglings, and it looks like the zealots and stalkers are going to engage the Marines here. Look at the shoot and scoot going on from Dream, who is actually playing Hien right now. So some pretty ridiculous APM is going on from Dream, trying to play 2 players and doing some Marine micro. But it does not look like that is going to be enough, as ProTech and there is one Zergling still alive in RuSH's base. RuSH, you really need to kill that Zergling, as it is just free reign on the drones, and finally that goes down. So RuSH did lose quite a bit of drones, and now more pressure is coming on. The Marines and Zerglings are streaming in, so are ProTech and RuSH going to be able to hold on? There are a ton of units coming in, as it looks like there are enough Stalkers here to defend, and RuSH trying to conserve his Zerglings as much as he can. When these Stalkers come up this ramp, they're going to be in a bit of trouble here. Marines really doing a lot of damage to the Stalkers in the front. Zerglings are trapped, a couple of them there, but more Zealots to beef up this army is going to force Dream to fall back. These Marines looks like are all going to die, as RuSH is desperately trying to surround these Zerglings, or those Marines there, and losing all his Zerglings, as the positioning from Dream has been pretty good, but he just doesn't have enough right now to deal with ProTech's 4-gate. And more units are warping in at that proxy pylon location. A couple of sentries are in here, and so ProTech is going to start applying the pressure. And Dream just keeps leaving his units at the top of these ramps and getting some free shots on ProTech. Actually going to fall back and force field the ramp there. I'm surprised those force fields could have maybe been used to split that army a little bit, but instead he's just going to sort of shoot and fall back, knowing that these Stalkers are faster than the Marines. So more and more units are coming in. RuSH at the same time is continuing to pump Zerglings, as he does have quite a bit of minerals banked, and a proxy pylon will be going down at the front here. But really this is just a 1-on-2, so I'm pretty impressed with Dream just staying alive at this point. I know it is, when your partner does drop in the early game, sometimes it can be an advantage depending on the unit compositions and whatnot, because you will have like double the income. So it depends on your building power, and really like what you want to do right away if your partner drops is get a couple of extra unit producing structures, like you can see right here, throwing down more and more hatcheries is Dream. And actually Dream wisely leaving a couple of Marines up there to kill any kind of proxy pylon or overlord scouting, and just massing and massing up Zerglings and Marines. And ProTech, this could be trouble if he tries to engage here, as there are a ton of Zerglings on the field. He's trying to use force fields to keep the Marines at bay and shoot and scoot backwards, but there are so many Zerglings, so many Marines, that I'm not sure if he can withstand this. He might have to fall back. So many Marines on the field are just streaming in, and ProTech is going to be forced to fall back. And really, this is a daunting looking army of Marines. Some Banelings would really be huge right now, as these sentries are trying to force field just to buy some time to escape, as RuSH is sending some Zerglings in, trying to absorb some of the damage. ProTech continuing to shoot and scoot though, so he has been whittling down the Zerglings this entire time that he is retreating, and warping in more units at the front of his base. These Marines are about to engage, but Stalkers are pretty strong against Marines, though once the Marines start to get a critical mass and nice concaves, it can be a lot of trouble. This looks like it's going to be a pretty even battle right here. But now RuSH is going to come in with some more Zerglings. No, he's going to try and pick up reinforcements, but there are a lot of Zergling reinforcements on the way from Dream. This is going to be a pretty close fight, as it looks like ProTech is actually, no, he did throw down an expansion, so those probes were transferring down. So now that this expansion is up and running for ProTech, I think that is going to be maybe too much for Dream to deal with at this point. And RuSH is asking, can I drone? I need Banes. So now that, these Stalkers getting surrounded here, but again, just a lot of micro, a lot of back and forth action right now, and Zerglings from RuSH have to be controlled really precisely, running in and out, trying to protect these Stalkers as much as they can. And now with 5 Zealots in here, that should be enough to eat up a bunch of the Zerglings. But after ProTech and RuSH had secured the middle of the map all the way down to here, Dream, playing by himself using both teams, has managed to push back to the front of RuSH and ProTech, and it actually looks like Hien's base is just about mined out. So once that happens, he is going to be in a ton of trouble, though. He is continuing to make more and more and more Zerglings, and finally RuSH is going to be getting a baneling nest as he finally was able to start mining some gas. And so a couple of banelings could really, really do a lot of damage to this army. So we'll see how that plays out as ProTech just now getting a robotics facility. And there was a Zergling, a scouting Zergling in there, I guess, that finally died. And so I guess, assuming ProTech is going to pump out an observer here to check out what is the deal on the high ground. But no, he's just going to go ahead and warp in some more sentries. So those force fields can make a big difference against this type of army. Except with so many Zerglings, it's really difficult to make it work. As I've seen ProTech before effectively use force fields to surround his own army and protect them from Zerglings, though that does not always work. And here comes the battle we've been waiting for. Are there going to be force fields? He's going to try and protect his army, but the Zerglings are going to be pretty nice around. But Bailey's coming in from RuSH, doing so much damage right there. And looks like that is going to be it. So that was a pretty exciting game, and I want to just rewind just a couple of ticks here if I can make it happen. Come on. Get back there. Okay. Because I want to see the banelings seemingly came out of nowhere. Look at them hiding inside the army, and oh, look at the split on those banelings. That was huge right there. Did you see how those banelings, I don't know if that was just the stars aligning or what happened, but RuSH only had like 4 banelings. And they were all right in here, and one baneling went that way, one stayed in the middle, and one went this way, and they all simultaneously exploded and took out so much damage. Green balls of death, so that was pretty cool. And so, thank you guys for watching. This is Irie StarCraft. Thank you, ProTech, for sending me this game. And so that's going to be it for me, and peace out.